Yeah, that's the paver grate.
Okay.
That's basically, it's a metal grate which will support the pavers, but underneath that is probably 8 to 10 inches of air and irrigation system, and then it's fairly extensive in each direction, because of course air is important to the roots of trees as well.
We were walking on the BRT tour,
Yeah.
and people were taking pictures. They thought
Yeah.
it was the bricks right up to the...
No, they're essentially suspended there. And from in an environment where we're trying to create a very rich pedestrian realm, it's great because you can use as a pedestrian, or you'll even see around downtown cafes that have tables right up to that. It's usable space, but it's really it creates a fairly good growing environment for the tree as well. I didn't want to get too much down the weeds on that, but trees are kind of a big deal. Here's another picture of, I think, a tree getting ready to go into that structural soil system. Then you've got existing conditions. 3rd Street and 4th Street, a little history note, the street right out the window and the next one up north, were both the primary two east-west lines where railroads came into downtown Austin. At 3rd and Congress and at 4th and Congress were the old railway stations. I wish we had them because they were gorgeous buildings. I've only seen pictures. And most of the buildings along 3rd and 4th Street were elevated. They had elevated loading docks to ease loading and unloading from the trains. Now, I don't know if that explains this, what you're seeing here, but that's been an issue as well, is accommodating, and it's a vestige of our history, which is pretty cool, but it makes for some interesting challenges as you try to make the streets more usable. Here's an example. This is actually right over, let's see, this is on 3rd Street. It's the Vince Young Steakhouse right over here, one of those elevated loading dock type situations. And then you have, legal or illegal uses of the right-of-way by adjacent users and so forth. And then one of the guiding principles, I didn't go through all of them carefully, was art. All of the projects, all of the CIP projects have had a public art element to them. These, I can't remember what these are, I can't remember what street these are on. Might be 2nd. But then you get, the people catching bikes to the art. But it's a great thing. If you really walk around with your eyes open, you see some pretty interesting stuff. There's some right out here on Brazos Street. There are actually these sound tubes that connect you actually to a place several blocks up. There are all kinds of things. Some of them have water elements, some are embedded in. There's one right over here at the corner, I think, of almost like a mosaic in the sidewalk. They're all done with our Art and Public Places office here in Austin. So a little bit looking ahead, I'm near the end of the presentation. This, of course, is Congress Avenue, known as sort of the Main Street of Texas. As I said, it's an outlier on the Waller grid, 120 feet wide. Very important. It's not only important as a piece of our mobility network, but very important ceremonially. We have all kinds of stuff. There are all kinds of races that occur. There's a run called the Congress Avenue Mile, basically a mile race from the Capitol down to roughly the Ann Richards Bridge. We have the Republic of Texas motorcycle rally each year, where we get about 50,000 motorcyclists, I think, to town, and they have a parade down Congress Avenue. Kind of deafening, but rather impressive. X Games has staged events. We now have the X Games here in Austin, and they've staged events on Congress. Boy Scout parades, you name it.